That's
Yeah, since it's 4 o'clock.
okay. So yeah, we usually give them a couple of minutes to come on.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a chance. I left some messages yesterday, or the day before yesterday, but I haven't had a chance to call anybody today. And I find that you have to do that, where they can just tap it and come on in. It makes it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
I'd had it at a later time, but it was inconvenient for Dr. Little because, this time of day, people are like just getting in or eating or, whatever. They're not really on,
Mm-hmm.
not really, not really relaxed or done for the day. So
Right.
we'll go now. So I'd like to welcome everyone to Black Wall Street, USA, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I'd like to open up. And since most of our meeting will be concerned with the Trail of Tears, I would like to open with a Native American Apache prayer. They call it a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
It goes like this. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries. May the breeze blow new strength into your being. May you walk gently through the world and know its beauty all the days of your life. And that's called an Apache prayer.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So we always start with the seven spiritual principles. It's found in Galatians 11th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to remember them. My page.
Right.
Okay. You can help me out if you know them.
I do not.
Okay. No problem.
I
Okay.
do
The
not.
first one is the spirit of the Lord, the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of understanding, the spirit of knowledge, the spirit of power or might, the spirit of counsel, and the spirit of the fear of the Lord.
Very good.
Yeah, Dr. Carter wants us to memorize them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want more details on it, it's in Galatians 11th chapter. I just don't have my page right now where I can give it to you. Okay. So at any rate, we are going to, I'm sorry, it's Isaiah, the 2nd chapter and the 11th verse.
My favorite book,
Aha. Deep.
Isaiah.
Yes, deep book, deep book. So I'm going to introduce myself and share what my focus is at this period of time. I do a lot of things. I've just committed myself to helping to promote a vacation Bible school this summer for the uh, Faith, Hope, and Charity Church, which is directly across the street from the Black Wall Street office at
Mm-hmm.
4417 North Peoria.
Right. Okay.
Um, However, my focus for the next year, or almost a year, 11 months now, is going to be the Trail of Tears, and we'll go into that in a little bit. I'd like to call on Ms. Moreland to showcase, one of her businesses as it might relate to what we'll be doing concentrating on next year. And just introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is CC Moreland. I am an event planner and a financial educator, licensed insurance agent. But my role with Black Wall Street would be USA would be to help facilitate events, help plan events, buses, and just help make the our next event, what is it, May 24th through June 1st, a success, coming from Texas. So, CC Moreland, Texas.
Thank you very much. And she is our new member for the Oklahoma Council, the Black Wall Street Council member.
Yes,
And hopefully she'll chair it or do something great with it.
absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay. So the mantra that we had for the Black Wall Street USA for last month from May for the massacre time of the massacre was Tulsa has a problem. A problem creates business. Welcome to Tulsa to take care of some business.
Hmm.
So the reference we would use for the Trail of Tears, for those of you who are not familiar with the Trail of Tears or would like to have some update on the Trail of Tears, I would suggest you go to the Black Wall Street USA website, Oklahoma, and Ms. Ursula Henderson for Black Wall Street USA has done a phenomenal piece on the Trail of Tears. So that will kind of bring us up to date. Everybody will kind of be on the same page as to what really happened and what to expect as we go on this particular route.
Hmm.
Our purpose today was to connect to a committee. And what I did was sent out to the different persons who are interested. I sent out some of the committees that we thought would be apropos to our success.
Right.
And I'd like to run down the names of some of those committees and share exactly what they are supposed to be doing. Now, Ms. Mullen, is there a way you can put that on the? Can you use your phone to put? Did you get a copy of that? Hopefully,
Copy.
the copy of the committee, the potential committees. The
No, no, I don't think.
oh,
Did someone? Did Dr. Little send it to me?
either she sent it to you. I was supposed to send it to you. One of us was supposed to send it to you.
Okay, because
But
you sent me a text. I'm not sure what that text was.
did it have some Roman numerals on it? Roman numerals?
But
Were there listings?
stuff
You're
on
kind of breaking
it.
off, breaking up. You're breaking up. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, yeah, Roman. Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
what's going on.
Okay.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me now?
well, you're still kind of breaking up, but can you post that? Is there some kind of way you could post that so people could see it? Do you know? I hope you can hear me. Well, while you're trying to post that, I'm just going to go down the list of committees that we need to make this a success. And the first one would be we need something like the Green Book. A lot of you might remember that, and you can actually look this up. You should be able to even purchase it. There was a book back in the day, in the early part of the 20th century, when Black folk went south. They had a green book, which gave them a little bit of direction as to what towns to go to get assistance, where they could get gas, and then those sundown towns, those towns that you don't go to after sundown.
Right.
So that book was called the Green Book, and so we are going to revisit that that idea by having a book as well, and we need a committee to make a deciding a decision on what that book will be called. And so we got the green and gold, we got red, black, and green book, and then somebody, Dr. Deterville in Florida suggested R and B, R and B and G to the third power. And so that would be the red, the black, the people, and the green, the gold, and the grass to the third, that which would be the third power. So that's kind of like on the it's on the outline that was sent out. And I don't know if Ms. Mullen might um, cannot reproduce it right now, but when we get off the line, we'll put it. If it's not on the website, we will make sure that it gets on there. So we'd like for everyone to do a part. If everybody does a little, nobody has to do a lot. So we're just
Right.
asking everybody to be a part of this committee, of one of these committees. So the first one would be being a part of the committee that's going to create the book. And so that's going to need input from other committees. As you know, no committee is standing by itself. All of this is like it will need to be integrated. This book will also need maybe an editor, definitely going to need some compilers, and of course, a recorder.
Mm-hmm.
We need a committee. Number two, we need a committee to choose the routes. There were several routes getting to Oklahoma. Some people even went by boat, part of the way by boat, which should be really, really interesting. Um, some people will fly, some people will drive, some people will take a bus part of the way, I guess. Some people are going to bike, and we're definitely interested in these groups that will be um, chartering buses to get there, because we have to make special arrangements for them, and certain special stops as well. So we need a committee who's going to deal with the routes. We think the Mr. Scott will be one of the persons in the Maryland area. He is the deputy deputy director for the Northeast Corridor. So um, I think he and his wife, I just did not get a chance to call them back and remind them, but he and his wife will probably one of those groups that'll bring a busload, especially of young people, because this will be great. It'll be great. It's going to be great for young people, for family, because they will learn how to read a map. We hopefully will have a treasure map. So when they go different places, there'll be something to find, and they'll get a reward. I guess who gets the most, or you get a reward for everybody who finds something. I don't care too much for competition, just a learning experience. So again, that group will have to figure that part out. So the second group will be choosing the routes and also deciding how you're going to come. We need to know that. We need to know how you're going to come. We need to know when you're going to come. And Ms. Borland already explained. I forgot what I was going to say about how to come, when to come. Something you shared
The
about
event point
the,
buses.
the date, right? The
Yes.
date. Um, and as an event planner, she's quite familiar with a lot of this. Part three, we want to cite the landmarks. We want to cite the landmarks, and in each states, there are 9 states that the travelers had to go through to get from Florida to Oklahoma. So we plan to. I don't know if we're going to stop in all those states, but at least cite at least one place to visit, and also to cite the towns that may have been sundown towns, or towns that are friendly, towns that people actually were picked up, like people were picked up, and I know they were picked up in North Carolina. They were also picked up in Alabama, So as the route went, they were picking up people at different sites. So whatever is closest to the trail that group number two will decide on, the route that they decide on, that's probably the site will pick. Now, also something that's important for this area is the Trail of Tears Park, which is actually located in the lower part of Illinois, I think it is. And so we would, if we can camp in that park for the night or something, we'll consider that. Some people might want to just go straight through. I don't know. It depends. We'll figure it out as we go. We might work it in such. You think, Ms. Mullen, we could work it into, and the group could work it into one bus, even though people may be coming from different places on different buses. When they get halfway, there may be a group of people who want to go straight through. They don't want to stop. And then there may be people who want to stop and experience learning about the Trail of Tears at the Trail of Tears Park.
Mhm.
So you think that's doable? If we have a couple of buses coming from the east, I'm sure one will be coming from Florida and another will be coming from the Northeast corridor where Mr. Scott is, or New York or New Jersey, or somewhere along that route, and people can kind of switch buses maybe, and one just goes straight through, and the other one, what you think?
Yeah. And then Texas too. Include
Right.
Texas. We got buses coming from Texas too.
Right. Well, the okay. So what I'm looking at is that the buses that are coming from the east, they will. Well, the bus from Texas will be coming straight through because it's not that far away. But the buses that are coming from the east will probably need an overnight. They don't have to if they go straight through, but if they're going to really stop and visit, they're going to need to make a stop. And the ideal stop would be probably and again, some people may even be able to pull it up on the map now, but it might be at the Tulsa the trail Trail of Tears Park in in Illinois. I've forgotten the name of the town,
Mm-hmm.
but because if I pull up my map, which is in my phone, I might lose the whole thing. So so I can't do it. Um, and uh, so we like for some people to work on citing the landmarks. Then Roman number four, the stops need to be scheduled before we even start. The stops need to be scheduled. Um, on that list, we need a chair for that committee. Well, all the committees should have a chair, a co-chair, and of course somebody who's doing the recording. Now, for this one, I checked. The main person would be the bikers because on the Florida call last week, uh, a gentleman got on and talked about how the bikers do this all the time. What they do, they just radio ahead from one town because like at funerals, if you have a large entourage, like in a funeral, that's an
Right.
expense. And but he was telling us how the bikers just radio from one town to another when they're going through, so
Mm-hmm.
get that security that they need.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to make sure that there are some bikers on that fourth group. Okay,
Right.
now after we started looking at this, it's like, oh wait a minute, this is going to cost some money for the things that we want to do, because one of the things we wanted to have is like, you remember the old time tents? They call them revival tents. We want to
Mm-hmm.
have a tent for every night, a different event going on every night, and so we're going to need some money for a tent and a lot of other things. So I think we need to develop a packet so that a registration packet. So everyone will have a packet, and in the packet, they will get a book, the red, black, and green book, or the RB to G to the third power book, or whatever you all call it. They will need they will have a pack. They will have a book. They will have a map. And they would love to have like a youth book as well as we could get somebody to talk about the Trail of Tears, because when you look at it on what the Black Wall Street USA did, it's a lot of paragraphs, a very sophisticated piece, but we want a book that will not in addition to that, we want a book that will not overwhelm young people. We want a book like 10 or 20 pages, where they can read about it and answer some questions or whatever, some kind of a way, get a youth book. And there is someone in a couple of people in Black Wall Street who do young people's books. So if we can get a youth book in that packet, that would be a great souvenir for the little people. And also, the schools nowadays, what are they? I mean, how much of our history are we getting? I mean, what's happening in Texas? What did they decide about history, or is this a national thing that the president's talking about when it comes
Uh,
to what they call it, DEI or all that?
oh, oh, DEI, yeah. Yeah, same thing around the world. They just cutting it out of all of Walmarts and Targets. So people are just not shopping at Target now, and just a lot. Same thing that's happening in Texas. It's happening around the world. DEI.
Okay, and so
Yeah.
when it comes to history, eliminating the history, I've forgotten how they twisted it around, but I know it's a big deal in Oklahoma where they're not going to teach certain it's history about certain minorities. They're just going to eliminate that. I forget what you call it, but uh,
Yeah. I forget what it's called too. But somebody just sent me something about the president saying that U.S. citizens cannot leave the United States after June 25th. And if they are out of the United States after June 25th, they cannot come back in the States, even with a passport or a visa or a green card.
well, that might be changed. I know my family, they're planning on taking some trips to Europe. I mean, going to Europe. I don't know why, but
Yeah. Tell them
well,
to check out first because they won't be able to come back, apparently.
mm, okay. I know it's going to be around. It's supposed to be within the next month, so we'll see.
Um,
Okay. Well, that right now we're just concentrating on the United States, so we won't have to worry about that. But we are concerned about our children learning their history, uh,
mhm,
and so I think this trip would be an excellent way of getting the history down.
mhm,
So the packet will include the itinerary, like the workshops or the sessions that'll be going on, your choices in lodging, because the purpose of this is to kind of recreate um, some of the spirit of Black Wall Street when it first began, and it was nothing like what we see. We see because in Black Wall Street, you have people who. I was told that on Sundays, everybody would just dress up and just walk up and down Greenwood, just looking cute. And that was like a Sunday fun thing. It was like a family thing on Sunday afternoons.
mhm,
It was absolutely nothing like that when they first got there. And you need to go to Black Wall Street, USA, Oklahoma, and you will get that wonderful history on how much they struggled on that Trail of Tears. And when they got here, it wasn't like I finally made it like the end of the line. It was really hard, especially for Black people. So we don't have time to go into all that on the line, but you really, really need to lead and read it so you can get an understanding of how much those people had to struggle. And so the other thing that will be included in the packet is the lodgings in North Tulsa, because we're trying to keep everything in North Tulsa, including the spending. So we have some new Airbnbs where people have built Airbnbs simply just to try um, to save property to keep it, in our own hands. So they build Airbnbs to, to keep it moving. Um,
Mhm.
and also, we have a very the only two hotels we have is the Hampton Inn that are popular, Hampton Inn and the La Quinta, which is closer to the airport. It's further out. You'll definitely need some transportation if you're there, um, but it's the most inexpensive of the choices.
Right.
And if we can, and also we have someone in Oklahoma who's interested in architecture. He would definitely be helpful to you, Miss Moreland, when it comes to finding a campsite, because we're going to need to rent some space. And what we'd
Mhm.
like to do is rent. If we're having a camping out, we'd like to have it on somebody's, because a lot of people have property and a lot of space. They just don't have money to farm or whatever, whatever. But if we can rent a campground, that would be
Mhm.
absolutely great. So
Mhm.
somebody, kind of mentioned that.
Right.
And so that's our fifth. We're halfway through. That's our fifth. That's number five. Roman number six, recognition and acknowledgments. And one of the people we want to recommend acknowledge is um, the Buffalo Soldiers. The
Mhm.
Buffalo Soldiers were hired by the government. How do you think these people got on the trail and stayed on there? They had to have somebody keep them on this trail. So who could better do it than a Buffalo Soldier? These were men who really had been in probably World War I, and once a soldier, almost a soldier is kind of like, and so because of that, they were asked to get these people to Oklahoma. The other thing
Mhm.
I'd like to come from out of that particular group is a video of the Buffalo Soldiers. There may be people who are coming who actually have remember members being in their family, um, of Buffalo Soldiers. Someone moved, and um, unfortunately, I knew he wasn't coming back, and I should have taken the picture. But he had a picture of all these Buffalo Soldiers, and one of them was a relative of his. I don't know what happened to that paper picture, but uh, a lot of people know who their relatives were, their grandfather, their great grandfather, their uncle, whatever, and some of them will probably be on that trail. So we would surely like to acknowledge them.
Right. 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 I have my good friend's husband is a Buffalo Soldier.
Wow, wow, and see that we need that. We need that history to continue. So that would be great.
Oklahoma.
Cool.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so now we need a event planner. Oh, the itinerary. We'll have a lot of help for you. It's just we need the itinerary of what's going to happen. Once to get here, what's going to happen. So that's going to be very interesting. Off the top of my head, when I was on the line with the people from Florida, I don't know if somebody was wanted to plan a. I don't even really know me. I don't remember what they were talking about. It may have been like where the fans at, where the fans at or something. But they wanted to have this kind of cowboy thing, and the other folk were saying, "Oh no, we don't need that kind of stuff." So that's going to need to be ironed out. But every night we will plan an event. One of them, somebody was talking about having like an open air movie. What do you call them? You sit in your car and watch a movie, that kind of thing. We'd like to have a campground for that, where we have a really big movie and a place where you can buy popcorn and whatever. Um,
Mhm.
and then a Sunday night, definitely of a quartet rally. We have one group here when I first came about 25 years ago, and I think that the youngest one then is older now, and he's about the only one left. But I think he picked up some more singers. So um, if we can generate enough interest in quartets or choirs or whatever, we definitely need a night of I'll say holy roly music or gospel music. That would be
Well,
great.
well, we
And,
have Josh on that end too. Josh will be able to help me with everything.
oh, great. That's good.
Yeah,
Very good.
he's in.
He's into that. Good. Okay. There also should be a way to boost somebody to be responsible for the membership. We need to build up the membership in Black Wall Street. So we are going to need somebody just to be responsible for that. I don't know, um, getting the membership um, advertised and people a booth. We also want to have like a what do you call it? Where people are selling their wares, a vending, a time for vending, a time and a space for vending, and in that one of the events should be a table to boost our membership.
Mhm.
I also want to plan a a baseball game. That's one of the things that was a great pastime for people back in the day. As you probably know, the White Sox, the Black Sox, the all those different groups, the black groups that we had. What's the name of that movie that James Earl Jones played on? Bingo Long's All Star Band, All Star Team, or something. When they began to integrate baseball, it was a,
Mhm.
it was a Sunday pastime for all for in black communities. I mean, that was just a fun thing that people did, and they only paid 25 cents or 50 cents to get in. It was a moneymaker.
Mhm.
But when integration came along, that was the end of that. When they started, they took in Jackie Robinson, and he went through a lot of stuff just being accepted. But we were doing great before we even got into the integrated field, because other folk, we were doing it for fun. Other folks are doing it for money. So, but
Mhm.
we would like to have one of those old time baseball games as one of the events, because we want to include our children in this as well. Uh,
Okay. All
Plan a
right.
budget. A budget is going to need to be planned. Why? Because we need a tent. We'll probably need some umbrella tables with umbrellas. We're going to need some carts, some bikes, some markers, some banners, some candles. I don't know how the mayor does it, but uh, well, let's see. He'll probably have uh, on June the 1st, the mayor, this was his first year, will be having that's his day. June the 1st is his day, which he calls the Tulsa Race Massacre Observance Day. And
You're black.
usually,
Black guy.
the what?
You have a black mayor.
Yes, his name is Monroe Nichols. And this is his first year. And so now in Tulsa, June 1st is a legal holiday. So that Sunday, June the 1st, and we met down on Greenwood, and did some other things, but he also had a candlelight vigil, which could be the night before or could be the next day. But at any rate, we're going to need candles for that. We're going to need some tart. We're going to need some tables and chairs, and we're going to need some water, among other things. So we definitely need a budget. So we need to plan a budget for some of the things that will be going on. Okay, then we need to advertise. We need to advertise, publicize. Uh, E-commerce needs to be built up. We'll have a class on that. Uh, we want we want a black station in every one of the towns that we're going through, every one of at least the states that we're going through, to advertise that the Trail of Tears is on the roll. We're going to need some virtuals done. And so again, that is a committee that needs to be engaged. We want to concentrate, number 11, we want to concentrate on food security. I think being on that trail, because the people did a lot of some actually starved to death.
Mm.
Some of them froze to death. It was just so cold. Imagine being in Illinois and taking, I think it was almost 2 years to walk from Florida to Oklahoma. So you could imagine what a lot of those people went through. Um, so we want to, and this is me, but the committee will have to make the decision or bring it to the group. No junk food. I think it's a great time for us to get away from junk food. We won't be making any stops at any of those fast food joints. And I hope that most of the people are already aware of some of the chemicals that they're talking about is in this in this food, especially in these fast food places. And if they don't know, we will definitely have some videos about it or some doctors to talk to you about some of the junk food. Uh, Going through these states, we also need to not only locate farmers in the state, but the farmers market. And I don't know, I mean, was I talking to you about this, Miss Moreland, about the farms that where you can go and you can pick for the farmer, and I don't remember how it goes. You pick him a basket and you can have a basket or some kind of a way. It's a way of them getting their product um, out
Hmm.
or out off the ground.
So you
So,
want the big farmers market out there?
well, there are probably farmers market in every state. So that means if we need some food, we should be able to go to the farmers market. But if not, or if we have an alternative, it would be great for our children to learn how to pick something. I mean, we've gotten to be so privileged. There are so many things that our children do not know how to do, and we have no idea where this world is going to go, how it's going to go, when God's going to come. But we see all the signs, and we have to be ready. And the Bible tells us to go into your abode until the indignation is over. Um, so if you're going to be stuck in the house, because the belief is that the crazy people are going to be out there killing each other, looking for food, looking for this, looking for that. They're not going to be able to handle it. And the best thing you can do is be in your house with your doors locked, and yeah, and you having the necessary food and water that you need. So we have no idea when this is going to happen, but it would be a great. Even the Red Cross is warning people about this. Um, that that there is going to be a food shortage, and we already know some of the shelves have already been empty. A lot of the stores. Didn't you just talk about some stores closing down? Were there any food stores that you mentioned, Miss Moreland? And you mentioned Target and Dr. Jamal Bryant has launched now he's launching a war against uh, Walmart for some of the things that they have to find out how they discriminate against us. So Walmart may be, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go, but we need to be ready, and our children need to learn how to how to light a fire, how to survive in rainy weather, uh, how to do intermittent fasting. We all need to understand the importance. Some people think they really have to have 3 meals a day. And 3 meals a day does nothing but wear your stomach out. It does not. The main thing is that the body heals itself. It's like that's where how the self cleaning oven was designed. The body will heal itself if you stop putting disease and garbage on top of garbage in your system. So we have to learn how to fast. And a lot of churches nowadays are getting into fasting, and that's a good thing. So um, I don't want to dampen anybody's spirit, but it's also a good time to get our children to fast away from these computers and cell phones. I mean, the radiation that's coming out of that is unbelievable, and so a lot of the sickness, a lot of the autism, a lot of the things that we are experiencing today that we never heard of 50 years ago is because of our lifestyle and some of the food that we eat and some of the technology that we're engaged in. So I guess we'll have to kind of prepare the people for that one. But
Mm-hmm.
you want to
Okay.
comment on that?
No, no, no. I was just kind of listening, probably taking a take a note or two to kind of
Okay.
see what's yeah. I'm just
Okay.
listening for the for my first meeting.
Okay. Thank you so much. You're doing great. Just be
Mm-hmm.
here. Okay. So we got two more. 11, security. We have to have some security. Um, we have to have state security, local security, on the road security, and that's where the bikers come in. So I thank God for them. We also need some incognito experience. A lot of times when you're somewhere, then there needs to be there needs to be security on the ground to to check anything that looks suspicious or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
the best thing to do is have people there because everybody's not mentally healthy, and some people the road rage nowadays is just off the chain. So we have to prepare people. We want to have an atmosphere that's pleasant and enjoyable, but at the same time we need security.
Yeah, we need a prayer. We need a prayer partners too. We need to have a praying team
Yes.
included.
And so well that will maybe that could fall up under room number 12, the last one, and that's contacts.
Mm-hmm.
So we need our government contacts, we need our youth contacts. I'd love to have youth serving as tour guides. I want to be able to work on that. If I can get
Yes.
some kind of funding from the city for that. And as far as having prayer partners and all that, as a matter of fact, everyone should have a partner if they're going anywhere. I just saw on the I just saw on a feed about if you see a quarter on your car, if you see a dot on your window, that means you're being targeted for human trafficking. So it's just getting so crazy out here nowadays. We really do have to be careful. That's why we want to have everybody all lined up, and safe, and having people that they'll be moving with.
Mm.
So I wrote down some things that we'll definitely need money for. I don't know how insurance works for this. Um, uh, how do you need for big large events? Do you have to have some kind of security? I mean insurance.
Yes, yes. Liability, general liability insurance. So I'll take care of the getting information for the insurance.
Okay, okay. And
Yeah,
so
put
we'll
me
need.
down for that.
Okay, good. Well, you're our designated event planner, so let's get going with that one. And so we're going
Yeah.
to need temps. We need campgrounds. We're going to need gas. We're going to need food. Um, we
So
want,
you definitely want a campground as opposed to going inside of a building?
well, not a campground for everything, just a campground. For example, if we make this a family affair, one of the things we want to do, for
Mm-hmm.
example, one of the things that's going to be going on when you get here are several events that learning sessions, because the motto is to advance to North Tulsa, enhance your education and knowledge of what you need to know, and restore, or what's the other word, um, elevate a community. So you're not coming, you're coming for the road trip, experience the road trip, but at the same time, when you get here, there's some things that you want to learn that you can take back to your community or some other
Mm-hmm.
community that you want to be able to develop. And we have
Mm-hmm.
some very, very knowledgeable people like Dr. Little in this,
Mm-hmm.
in this, in Black Wall Street, USA.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lady, Miss V. Miss V, her specialty is helping people to recognize that even though their taxes maybe they haven't paid their taxes or something, they have still have a chance to get their property back. Sometimes your property is is fraudulently taken away from you, like mine was, and people need to know how to recover their property.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big deal in Tulsa because North Tulsa had the cheapest property going. For example, my husband bought his house for almost $20,000,
Mm-hmm.
a 3 bedroom house with a little extended bathroom and another little one on the ends. And the, uh, 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, it was worth 95. So the property values are going up everywhere. But in Tulsa, so many people have been moving to North Tulsa because it was the cheapest place in North Tulsa, in Oklahoma, to, in a town to be successful. So, and the Kaiser Foundation has taken down millions of trees to build an industrial park, and then took away the one of the Comanche apartments, which was a low income facility to develop exquisite housing right across the street from the industrial park. So
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of changes being made, and these are not peculiar to Tulsa. It's happening all over the world. You know how we do. We create things. People don't create them. They come and take it. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'd like to have that. Just like exactly what happened with Black Wall Street,
Mm-hmm.
with the Black Wall Streets, because it wasn't just in Oklahoma. It was all over the country where they were taking these towns. I
Mm-hmm.
come from a town in Baltimore County. I think we had, I can't remember, I think we had like 20 some black towns, and there's only one left, and that's the one that my family lives in, where I raised my children and my grandchildren, where I went to school, and now they're working hard to take that. Where the 95, the bridge was collapsed right outside the Chesapeake Bay. So there's a lot of information that one can pick up in Tulsa and take back to their community to try to save their community or do whatever they need to do. So we're going to
Mm-hmm.
need tourist guides, golf carts, uh, equipment for a baseball game, basketball tournaments, playgrounds if little children are going to be coming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, work events are always happening at the library, and a movie night. So if we get a movie night, then we're going to need a big screen probably. So
Mm-hmm.
unless we're using this back side of a church or something. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's some of the things that, and then we want to have like a really nice night, a dinner night, where maybe a celebrity night or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, where people
Mm-hmm.
can come and just dress up and be cool and whatever. And the Big Ten would be an ideal place to have that. We have a place in Tulsa that has just been remodeled, by Mr. Lester Shaw, called the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? They say when the celebrity stars used to come, Calloway, Aretha Franklin, all these stars, they went to the Big Ten, but they had to go stay in somebody's house because they weren't allowed to go downtown to the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that our children need to experience and understand, and that's the plan, to get them to really know their true history and what their parents went through and how they should appreciate them nowadays. Is there anything
Right.
else you want to
Right.
share, Ms. Moreland?
No, no, no. Just I, as a licensed insurance agent, I definitely take care of the help with the insurance and event planning, and I'll go through your Roman numerals again and see how I would fit in. But yeah, you please use me as a tour guide because I'll familiarize myself with the 8 black towns in Oklahoma. That's pretty prevalent. I wish we can tour those black cities and just have good time. But you know what? As an event planner, we're gonna make it fun. But I do like the fact of having a prayer team. We need a prayer team to start praying like right now.
Absolutely. No question about it.
Hmm.
There's a Chief Wali who that's what he does. He takes trips to tour town. Actually, the library also plans trips to Black towns. Most of them are so far apart from each other, you might can only visit one or two in the course of a day. But if but I think one of the things that we need to start with immediately is a survey. For example, if quite a few people, they do want to go to other towns. So if they want to go to other towns, then what towns do you want to go to? So if we have a survey and have these people listed the towns that they would like to go to, then we could decide what would be a good town to, two towns to visit if they're close together, blah, blah, blah. So we really do need to come up with a survey that we can put on the Black Wall Street website, and have people decide what they're particularly interested in doing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So
Yes, yes,
we'll get,
totally agree.
okay. Okay.
Yes. Oh,
And if if there's nothing else, would you like to close us out in prayer before we go?
absolutely, absolutely. Oh, most gracious and Heavenly Father, thank you, thank you, thank you for resurrecting Black Wall Street, USA. May we live up to everything that Black Wall Street portrays, because it was amazing. We all had ancestors there. So God, please be with us as we plan. Please be with us as we tour. Please be with us and educate us. Please send the team. Please send everyone that you would like to be a part of this, and please let delegation go as smooth as possible. And we thank you, God, right now for the prayer team. And we thank you, God, so much for Sister Raheemah, Mother Raheemah as well, and everybody, and Dr. Little as well. Lord, we love you so much. We need you so much. And you said if two or three are come by my name, or call by my name, and then, humble themselves up in prayer, then you would hear it from heaven. We need you right now, Lord, because our president is just doing some shaking up the world, Lord. It's just messing us up. Please be with us. Just like you let the Israelites out, lead us. Lord, we are the Israelites. We are also your people too, because we're Christians. We love you so much. We need you so much. It's in the precious name of Jesus we pray with much love and thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen. And I'd also like to put in a prayer for the families of, I think two children were killed last night there was a Legacy Fest downtown on Greenwood, and somebody shot two boys down there, um, and last night. So it's happening all over the country. Our children they just have no knowledge of who they really are, and I pray that God will give their families some comfort in this time of
Yes.
bereavement.
Yes, yes, yes. It wasn't friendly fire. It wasn't black on black, right? Was it?
Yeah, it was a black boy shot into a crowd. I don't know I don't know the details. A spirit told me to stay home, and that's what I did last night, yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
when I went to church today, that's that's what they uh, that's what they were talking about. One of the men, his son was over there with one of the boys who got shot, was standing right beside him when he got shot. So, what kind of trauma does that do to a child? You
That's
see?
pretty bad. That's
Yeah,
pretty bad. And Josh was there too. Josh
was
said they went, yeah, he was there. He sent us a text letting us know that he would not make it today because they held them there for like till 3 o'clock in the morning, asking questions and different things like that.
mm. Well,
Yeah, so
they know who did the shooting, so why would they keep people so
we
long?
want to know, did you see anything? Did you do this? Did you see anything? Are you a part of it? Yeah, Josh should be able
Oh,
to explain it a little bit more. He's a beautiful, beautiful young man. I'll be
good.
glad when you guys meet.
That'll be great. That'll be great. And we need all the help we can need in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa, home, I was here for 15 years until I realized, hey, wait a minute, you're falling behind the wrong people. I was, trying to get along with the poor folk and all that. Wait a minute. Some people in Tulsa who have money, you need to get with them. But what happens is the motto of this town when I came, and it still is never let them rise again. And
Mm-hmm.
so all kinds of tricks and shenanigans are done to keep the monies from flowing into our neighborhoods. And that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly why we want to have it in our neighborhood, because really that Greenwood downtown really doesn't belong to us anymore. Um,
Mm.
they
Okay.
overpriced the people who did have businesses out there. They kept raising the rent until they squeezed them out. So there are only like two, um, two, maybe three black businesses in that particular 100 block of North Greenwood. So they,
And when a gentrification is happening on Greenwood?
oh, gentrification is happening everywhere. Yeah, I mean, this is for the people
Mm.
who do most of the planning. They already know how this stuff happens. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
like in Detroit, there was a lot of gentrification going on. But if you go to your website and look up like the 10 most rising towns where black people live, a lot of them, like Detroit, were dying, and the people moved out, had all these empty houses, and they said there was no money in the town. The people were going to have to blah blah blah. Then wise black people started investing like they are doing here in Tulsa. They started investing in those lands, getting some of those. I know people who got some of those houses in Detroit dirt cheap, and and because now a lot of black people do have a few dollars, they are investing and then pulling a lot of those towns back up. So it's very interesting if you Google, what towns are making progress. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see it, and it's impressive.
And you said North Tulsa. So North Tulsa, is that Black Tulsa or something?
Well, that's where most of that when the massacre hit, most of the people moved further up
North.
where we are now, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
the
Cool,
so
cool, cool.
that Greenwood is the beginning of
Mm-hmm.
North Tulsa.
Okay, I'm gonna have to come back down there so we can go on tours and
Please do. That would
yeah,
be
yeah. I'll get with Josh too, 'cause
great. That'll be great. That'll be great.
yeah,
I'm looking forward
yeah,
to
I'll
seeing
do
you soon.
that. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yeah,
Well, thank
okay.
you
All
so much
right.
for your
Yeah,
assistance today. I
yes,
appreciate you so much.
y- yes,
Thank
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Talk soon.
you soon, God willing.
Bye.
If the good Lord wills it and the creek
If
don't rise.
God and the creek don't rise, God willing. All right.
Yeah, all right. Bye, Miss.
Bye.
Peace. Peace out.
Yes, ma'am. I'm ending.
Okay. Recording. Stop the recording.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.